Who is the true one? Hinduism and the highest God. Who is the highest known God in Hinduism? And how do sacred texts such as Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita address the question of who is the highest God? In the most common Hindu traditions, if you have ever been to India, you will see statues and temples built in honor of Shiva, Vishnu, and sometimes, but rarely, Brahman. But most commonly, the most popular deity in India is Shiva, and Shivaratri is the main biggest event, a yearly event in India. Hindu tradition has a very diverse pantheon of gods, of deities, hundreds of thousands of various deities are identified to govern the creation. So Vedas is one of the oldest texts where the creation of our universe is explained with the three primary deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. This is what you will find most commonly if you travel to Hindu countries, particularly India. As we dive deeper, we come to realize that there is a deeper aspect of God beyond the form of Shiva, Brahma, or Vishnu. And that is where one can then discover either Advaita Vedanta or the texts of Upanishads. This is where commonly Brahman or Lord Brahm, in other words, becomes a central figure which is identified beyond the personal form. Therefore, in the Upanishads and the Advaita Vedanta, the higher level of God is seen as Brahman, or the self, which is beyond our universe. It is the blissful light beyond duality and the source of creation of our universe, including all other gods and goddesses known below who govern our universe. So Advaita Vedanta calls it the self, or in other words, Brahman. We clarify a Divine Marga as Lord Brahm. It makes things more clear to which God we refer to. Upanishads also speak of Paramatma, the higher God, where we assign the word par, meaning beyond or higher form. So Paramatma is the God of which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads. And this is where also then we encounter the Kashmir Shaivism, pointing to the ultimate form of Shiva, Param Shiva, or other Bhakti traditions as the ultimate form of Vishnu as Param Vishnu or ParBrahm. And typically, this is where the apex, the highest pinnacle of Hinduism is reached. Paramatma or ParBrahm, or whichever other viewpoint we have, Param Shiva or Param Brahman, is the same region. It's what we call the region of ParBrahmanda. If we look at specific Hindu traditions like Krishnaism, we will see that Krishna was encountered at different levels. He was encountered in a physical form some 5,000 or so years ago. Krishna revealed himself as the avatar of Vishnu to Arjuna, his chief disciple. He revealed his higher form as Vishnu or as Brahma, which is the ruler of the universe. And Arjuna was astounded to see this deeper form of Krishna. And also, Bhagavad Gita mentions the ultimate form of Krishna, which can be referred to the Param Vishnu or Paramatma form. And therefore, it is even assigned a specific location called Goloka Vrindavana, which is at the very top of the ParBrahmanda region, the ultimate union of Krishna and Radha, the highest form in the Krishna tradition. So as we follow the divine cosmology, we can see that various names are pointing to the region of ParBrahmanda. And as the ultimate form, which is written in the texts of Bhagavad Gita, also refers to the Paramatma or Param Vishnu form, which, if we look at the map of divine cosmology, we'll see that that's the very top of the ParBrahmanda. Beyond our universe, in the blissful region of light, it's a much higher region beyond duality, where this seemingly ultimate forms of God are experienced. It is surely a much more truer God, whichever name we give. So let's summarize it as ParBrahm, which is the same as Param Shiva, Paramatma, Param Vishnu. It's all at the same region. So to keep it simple, let's call it ParBrahm. So this God is much more real. This God is beyond duality. It has nothing to do with duality anymore. And it is transcendent of the grip of Maya, illusion, and the grip of selfish God, Lord Brahm, who governs our universe and doesn't want the souls to leave. So therefore, attaining the realization and ultimately liberation to the region of ParBrahmanda, or the union with ParBrahm, is a significant achievement for the yogis, for the gurus, because it is a liberation from our universe, from duality, from the traps of the soul, and a much more real reality. So this is where we can find some of the very famous gurus in India, the real deal gurus. One of the most famous one is Ramana Maharishi, Rama Krishna, and Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, just to refresh the memory. Divine Marga, we have a page called Soul Advancement or Advancement of Spiritual Teachers. And we can see that in this region, we have also famous teachers such as Osho, Aurobindo, Adida Samraj, Lahiri Mahasaya, and many others. Some of them have one foot in divine as well, but more established in ParBrahmanda. So these are the real deal gurus. They are very well known in India, and some of them are quite well known in the Western world as well. So the ParBrahm or Param Shiva, or then whatever name we use according to different Hindu traditions, we speak of the same level of God realization, the same depth of God realization. However, ParBrahm is much more true God. It is known that in ParBrahmanda, a regular resident in that region is of much better character than even the gods of Brahmanda. So in other words, that Lord Shiva or Vishnu or Brahma or other deities, they have positive qualities and negative qualities. They are in the universe of duality. So therefore, if you look deeply at Hindu tradition, you will see that all these deities have aspects. And at the highest level, Tripura Sundari or Goddess Durga, she's a motherly figure, but then she has a negative, so to speak, polarity aspect of Goddess Kali, fierce. If you look at the depiction of Goddess Kali, she wears the skulls as a necklace and she slays all the demons and so on. So in our local universe of duality, all the gods have positive and negative aspects. When we go to ParBrahmanda, that's no longer the case. There is no longer a polarity, positive, negative polarity. In ParBrahmanda, there is much more spirit of God, there is much more light of God, and there is no matter. And the mind is not illusioned, is not trapped in Maya. It is much more pure mind. It is still the region of mind, but it's much more pure mind. It's no longer deluded mind, lost in Maya, illusion, duality. So ParBrahmanda is a remarkable place. Many of the beautiful spiritual teachers, gurus, real deal gurus are fully established in this region. And it is much more true God. However, as we know, in Divine Marga and in a few other sacred traditions around the world, this is where we can generally say that we transcend Hinduism, we transcend Upanishads, we transcend Bhagavad Gita. Vedas, we left them in Brahmanda. Vedas only are for Brahmanda. Upanishads are an edited version of Vedas which point to a higher reality beyond what is in the Vedas. It points to that higher reality of ParBrahmanda. So we could say some of the sacred texts in terms of Hinduism of ParBrahmanda are Upanishads, and Bhagavad Gita is the most popular texts. When we speak of the true divine, we are transcending. Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and most other known Hindu texts. In the ParBrahmanda, it can seem like divine. It is mirrored, like a mirror of the divine. It can really look like divine. So that's why in Krishnaism, Krishna is celebrated as divine, and Bhagavad Gita and all of it is considered a divine text. Whoever uses the word divine also would probably speak of this mirroring of ParBrahmanda. The ParBrahmanda is a mirror, it's like a copy of the divine. It's not the original, but it's extremely beautiful. You will find there temples of pure diamonds and gold and jewels and roses and lakes of Amrita nectar, the absolutely most beautiful, perfect abodes and gardens and whatever you could picture as the ultimate heaven, you will find them existing there. The pure lands of Buddhism, but today we're focusing more on Hinduism as such. In ParBrahmanda, you will find these most magnificent heavenly heavens, which are absolutely dazzling, where everything is made of jewels and gold and diamonds. And it's so common that just like here, we have water everywhere and it's just the same water everywhere. So their gold is everywhere, just like a normal thing. This is why gold is precious on earth, because it is a solidified version of prana. It is a dense form of this higher reality. But when we go to ParBrahmanda, it's just everywhere. It's normal. Of course, crystals of all sorts of nature. So that's what you will find in these highest heavens of heavens of unimaginable beauty and abundance. That's why when someone encounters these places, they will just say, it's divine. It does look like it does feel like it, but it's the copy of the true divine. So when we reach the true divine, we arrive at the true one. The true one is Sat Purush, the true God of all gods, the Father of all gods, the being who emanated all other beings, and all the souls come from Sat Purush. There were no other gods. There was no Shiva. There was no ParBrahm. There was no Krishna. Sat Purush existed always. It exists and always will be. And any deeper level of Sat Purush is still Sat Purush.